All right, let's talk about something that's bound to get any PHP developer's attention. We're diving into a framework that's making some pretty bold claims about performance and features. Yep, we're talking about INEX SPA.
And just so you know, all the info we're covering today comes straight from the source. We're pulling from the INEX team's own official channel and their documentation. This is for anyone who loves to see how things work under the hood. You know that feeling, right? As a developer, you're constantly stuck in this tug of war. You want all the cool, powerful features, robust security, a great template engine, all the bells and whistles, but you don't want to kill your app's performance. So the big question is, do you really have to choose? Let's be real, in the modern web, speed isn't just a nice to have, it's everything. Users expect pages to load instantly, and slow sites just get left in the dust. This puts a ton of pressure on us developers to pick the right tools for the job. And this is the trade-off we're all so familiar with. You grab one of these big, feature-packed frameworks, and suddenly your app is carrying all this extra weight. It can lead to slower response times, more complex code, and a much steeper learning curve.
Well, this is exactly where INEX SPA wants to change the game. It was built from the ground up to prove that just maybe you don't have to compromise.
So what is it exactly? At its heart, INEX SPA is a PHP framework that's trying to give you the best of both worlds. A full set of modern tools, but packed into an incredibly lightweight, minimal package. The whole idea is to deliver power without the bloat. 1 millisecond. No, that's not a typo. That's the mind-blowing execution time that the INEX team is targeting. It's a hugely ambitious goal, and it's the one thing that really drives every single design choice in this framework. So how on earth do they even get close to a number like that? Well, it all boils down to these core ideas. It's designed to be super lightweight, it's modular, so you only load the parts you actually need, and this is huge. It has security and caching built right into the core, not just tacked on as an afterthought. Every one of these decisions is about shaving off overhead to chase that 1 MS dream. Okay, so the philosophy is speed. But what about the day-to-day developer experience? Well, like any good modern framework, INEX SPA gives you a powerful command line tool to be your new best friend. It's called the Ammar CLI, and if you've ever used Laravel, you're going to feel right at home here. Think of this as their version of Artisan. It's your one-stop shop for creating routes, managing your database, and basically running your entire application right from the terminal. And getting up and running is designed to be super intuitive. A typical workflow looks just like this. You fire off a command to create a new route, another one to generate a database file, and then you just tell it to serve your app. It's all about moving fast. All right, so we've got our backend commands covered, but what about the view layer? You know, the part that your users actually get to see. For that, INEX SPA has its own custom-built template engine. It's called Ammar Templates, and again, if you're familiar with Laravel, it's very much in the same spirit as Blade. The whole point is to clean up your view files and get rid of all that messy, hard-to-read PHP spaghetti code. And honestly, this table says it all, doesn't it? Look at the difference. Instead of cluttering up your beautiful HTML with ugly PHP tags, Ammar gives you this super clean, elegant syntax. It just makes your code so much easier to read and maintain, especially when things get complicated. Now, beyond the developer tools, what really makes a framework ready for the real world are the things that come baked in to handle security and performance. And this is where INEX SPA really starts to shine. It comes absolutely packed out of the box. You get automatic CSRF protection, a request rate limiter, a full-blown caching system, even tools for managing cron jobs. These are often things you have to go find third-party packages for, but here they're part of the core. And by building them in, the framework avoids the performance hit of loading external stuff, which is absolutely key to hitting that 1 MS target. And this isn't just a project sitting on GitHub. There's a whole ecosystem growing around it, which even includes free cloud hosting that's specifically optimized for INEX SPA apps. That's a massive win for getting your projects live without a headache. So, when you put all these pieces together, that insane speed, the handy CLI, the clean template engine, and all those built-in features, it all starts to paint a very clear picture. It all comes back to this one simple but powerful mantra from its founder: build faster, code less. The whole goal is to let the framework do all the heavy lifting, so you can just focus on what you do best, building awesome applications. And what's really important here is that this is a completely open source project. It's under the MIT license, which basically means it's free for you to use, to change, to build on top of. And it's a huge invitation for the entire developer community to jump in and help make it even better.
So in the end, INEX SPA is making a really compelling argument that maybe, just maybe, you don't have to choose between speed and features. The only question left is, are you ready to actually see what a 1 millisecond PHP framework feels like? Thanks for tuning in for this deep dive.